basically why we want to, why we are struggling with our careers we have seen. But how should I start reinventing my career, or what action should I take to improve my career, and why? Okay, so you must have seen, like, nowadays everybody talking about why. Okay, because earlier it was not necessary. When we were young, okay, our energies were like, those were already high, and we used to be, highly confident enough. But now, like, when we have reached a level where it's like, mid professionals, or maybe like we are all are working women, or struggling with the families and all. So at that time, our energy levels go down. Okay, and we want to improve it, but we don't have the, right direction, like how to start, from what to start, and what how not to do, right? So we should actually think about how should I start. Okay, so first of all, whatever skills you have in yourself, right? So those are very important. Whenever you are exploring your own skills or your own energies, okay, at that time you need to understand what you as a person is interested in, right? So most of the time, like, if you remember, like in our childhood days, right, we used to be good in maths, or we used to be good in language, okay, or debates. If you remember, you must have given a good presentation in the class, or you must have given a good viva, or you must have given a good theory in your class, something like that, right? A good speech, or you must have acted in a drama, or you must have taken on a speech level, something you have done on the speeching. Whatever things you had done in your past, right? Somewhere it is related, somewhere it is linked to your current life as well. Okay, you might be, very good at making friends. Like, if you remember, like in your old days, right? Like whenever yeah, kids used to play cricket, and like there are a lot of games you might be, if you can remember, hide and seek and everything, right? So there used to be a collaboration, or there, people, kids love to play together, call by their names, or they remember things. Most of the times, kids are like so playful, right? So they don't need like big networks like us. Whenever we go to some parties, like when we have to talk to some other people, right? What we think is, no, no, this guy is a little bit high standard. How can I go directly and talk to him? But when we were in the child age, right? At that time, we never used to think about all these things. Somebody, okay, this guy is good. I can play with him. You can directly go and have a network with him. You can have a friendship with him. So we never thought of that kind of things in our childhood. But now, when we are, we have actually reached at this age, so we think a lot. Basically, our thinking capability has now actually, extended from what we were at the earlier stages, right? So some people must be good in intrapersonal or interpersonal, like making friends or understanding the feelings of others. Some people, like some people are like, if you talk with them, okay, then also you feel relaxed. Okay, like, okay, this person is listening to me. Okay, so that is what, it's like interpersonal, like you are able to sense the feeling of others. Okay, some people are very good at sports, or like some games, or lot of people are good at gym, or doing a lot of exercises, yoga and all that stuff. So there are, different kinds of skills in your body, which actually you have to explore, like what good you are into. Okay, some are good at music, or dance, or making some rhythms. Okay, some are good at gardening. Okay, so it's like, they love to be in nature, or they'll go on a trek, or walk every day, or go to the gardens and feel the, grass and flowers and trees everywhere. They like to, smell the freshness of the nature. So many skills are there in our body. Okay, as a person, there are lot and lot of potential skills. Okay, you have to explore from your childhood, like what exactly you fit into. Okay, if now you are working as a IT professional, or now you are working as a maybe lawyer or whatever. Okay, like you just have to go back and check from your childhood what you were good at. Okay, That skill is basically going to raise your confidence and to gain a new skill which you want to achieve in your career. Okay, you might be good at making friends when you are in the childhood age. Okay, same skill you can utilize here as well when you are doing the network or collaborating with the team members or peers. Okay, so mostly what happens is when we are,
Yeah, just
actually
a second.
making a team in offices, most of the time we are not able to, understand the team members. Most of the time we are just focusing on the deliverables. Most of the time we are just focusing on the output, of what the product is getting delivered or why it is getting delayed, or, timelines and everything. A lot of things are there which are happening right now. But we never look back to that person as a friend. Okay, what that person is going through, in what mental state he is coming to office, whether he is really interested to coming to office or not. Lot of things are there going back in the mind. If just try to recall some meeting where you had in the office, right? Like, there might be 10 people sitting in the room, but some people might be just listening to you. Okay, they are just watching you. Okay, but they are somewhere else, they are dreaming. They are actually in their own world, they are not able to concentrate. Now, why this happens? It's because some stress, okay, background, something is happening with his life, and you are not interested because you have a delivery to see, right? So you don't have time to go back to the team member and watch, right? But some leaders or some managers are so much good at it that they feel it, they sense that the person is not feeling well, or some emotions are, up and down, something is going on in his life, and they really go and talk with them. Okay, that I would say that person or that manager or that leader is having something called as interpersonal skill in his body, or in his own self. Like, he can go back, collaborate with the person, why and what is happening with you, and that person feels really very nice, okay, when talking to this leader. So this is how, you can actually think about the skills in your own self, like what you are good at. Some people are good at logic, some people are good at language. Okay, like, even if you go in your higher studies, right? Well, like, when you are doing, suppose you have done MBA or MSc or whatever. Okay, any graduation, post graduation courses you have done. So most of the time what happens is we focus on the studies, okay, rather than building up the behavioral skills or the potential skills which you have. Okay, most of the time we focus on studies only. So this is somewhere we think that it is lacking, and like, it has to be pulled out from everyone, like what potential skills they have right from the childhood, what they were good at, and now what can be done which, they can improve in their current state of life. Similarly is your core value. So if you see, like, everybody has a unique core value. Okay, it could be a personal, or it could be interactive, or it could be business oriented, customer oriented, or it could be something external as well. Okay, so most of the time what happens is, like, we are not aware of these core values. So whenever we are trying to, solve some problem with our organizations or the teams, right? We are not sure, like, what is our core value. We are not sure, like, whether I'll be able to succeed or whether I'll be able to fulfill all these things, right? We will
Vrinda,
be
can
able
you,
to solve this problem.
Vrinda,
One
can you
one
hear
minute,
me?
Vrunda ma'am.
Yeah, someone wants to join. I'm not
Okay,
able to enter.
they have got Aruna.
Okay, so when like, suppose, like, if you want to, check our core values. Okay, there are some assessments which we carry out, which actually, let you understand, like, what is exactly your core value. Like, suppose someone is, very passionate about like problem solving techniques, or somebody is very good at, building trust with the team or collaborating with the team. Okay, somebody is very good at mentoring other people. Okay, somebody is very good at speaking, or somebody is very good at, like, taking decisions. So everybody has, different quality. And while, exploring your core, like, you're able to understand, like, exactly where you have to go, or what your goal of your life should be, or what your future would be based upon these goals. Like suppose in my case, like it is passion on purpose. Okay, so these were the two top goals, and like I understood, okay, passion in terms of IT, like I have already been into IT and I'm more fond of research and development, and as well as like I like networking with people. So whenever I speak to somebody, it gives me happiness, or whenever I listen to somebody, it gives me happiness. So the networking, the bonding, everybody is very like everything is very it comes very naturally to me. So the thing is like I am much more goal oriented person, as well as like I am passionate about the research and development, as well as like I have a purpose, like I like to share everybody with everybody, right? So there are different kind of core values which are available, and like we can decide based upon that core value, like whether you are a right fit for this particular career, or whether you are a right fit for this particular role or a designation. Okay, so this same applies to your life as well, like whatever core value you are having, like there could be it's like a your spouse also could have same core value what as you have, or it might be like both of your core values are also different. Okay, it may happen that okay, somebody has a power wala core value, okay, and somebody has humility or loving wala core value. Okay, so it might happen that jagda ho sakta hai, like it can happen. So you have to balance your life as well, like whenever you are thinking to find a core value between you and your spouse, that is a very nice thing actually to have, because you'll be able to understand more about your spouse, like you will be understand his feelings and everything. Okay, so when you are actually working on the core values, even for the kids, like if you are doing it for your kids as well, right? So some kids are like at the age of, or I would say between the 5 and 10. Okay, like kids are very small, like they don't understand what are they going to be in their future. Okay, they watch some movies, or they are fascinated by some good cartoons, or power characters and all, and they are so much into that fantasy world that they really don't know like what career is, or how the life would be in coming next 20 25 years down the line. But when you talk about a teenage, like some maturity comes in, and at that time, like if you do this core value assessment for your kids, okay, you are able to understand like where my kid is good at, okay, or what value, or what value can take him to the next level. Now, what happens is sometimes it happens that we land into a career, okay, which is not selected by us. Mostly, it is selected by our parents, or by family members, or by some bhaiya was in IT industry and he did his job, and like my kid also should go into IT, or some any kind of field. Okay, so most of the time the career is decided by the family members or the relatives and all, or most of the time friends also involved in case of teenagers. Like after 12th, most of the kids are like, my friend is going to arts, I will go with him, or my friend is going to science, I will go with him. Okay, most of the time we are not able to decide on our career, but this is a good assessment where you actually can find out the core value of your kid, like whether your kid is good in entrepreneurship, or whether your kid is good in innovations, or whether your kid is good in empathy or caring, or as a teamwork he can play, or he is good in exploring something, or creating something. So at that time, if you do this assessment for your kids as well as now also for you, it is very good and very essential for you to land into the next career trajectory which you are planning for. Like suppose now you are working as a developer or maybe analyst, okay, where you are into maybe 3 4 years or 10 years of your career, and now you want to switch something to else. Okay, you are looking at your peers or managers, they have been to that role. How should I be into that role? What can I do for the that upcoming role? What all changes I'll have to build in into myself? So basically, if you do this, like it will be, more useful and it will be more helpful whenever you're designing your new career graph. Okay, so basically what happens is most probably like we are aware like what roles are in the market. Okay, so with related to whatever career or whatever job we are doing right now. Okay, there are different kinds of roles present in our industry. Okay, so it could be any industry, IT industry, manufacturing, or banking, or any sector you are going, right? Everywhere there are some positions in the market like which gives you some benefit as a salary or your package, right? Once you join as a fresher, okay, or you're doing some internship, at that time you can realize that I'll be getting some package, or I'll be just able to work only 6 months or 1 year in this industry, and then I'll have to again switch back to some other career or some other organization. But when you are actually working inside the organization for almost like 4 5 years or more than 10 years, at that time it's like you are almost settled in that organization, right? Like most of the time it happens that in the same role or in the same designation you are there for almost like 2 to 3 years or more than that. Most of the time there are lot of up and downs in market. So you are actually your mental balance is like I want to switch, or my friend has got a good package in other organization, maybe I can also try. So that is what happens to our mind. So most of the time, what happens is either we land in a different organization, or we are working with the same monotonous things which we are doing every day, right? So if we want to go a little bit higher, okay, we have to first design our career graph, okay, and the graph should go like the upper direction. Like now, if you are an analyst, okay, the next role should be like senior analyst or a manager or a director or an CXO, right? So in that level, if you think about your career graph and if you plan it properly, if you give it a proper year or a date, okay, at that time you will be crystal clear like what you want to achieve exactly, right? What you have to do to make up to that level, right? So these are a couple of the points. Like first of all is finding a mentor. So if like I'll tell you few of the tools as well, like how to go about from this. But currently, like if you are working with some organization, okay, so at that time you can find a mentor who is already reached that level. Okay, like suppose if you are targeting that senior manager role, right, or some director position, who is the person who is sitting at that position? You need to make him your mentor. Okay, take the guidance from him. It doesn't matter, like you will think, no, 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 this guy is a very big person, I cannot talk to him. No, don't worry about all those stuff, right? Networking is the major role in your redesigning your career. जब तक नेटवर्क नहीं करोगे ना, लोगों से बात नहीं करोगे ना, तब तक वो आगे नहीं बढ़ेगा. You have to find a mentor. The mentor is going to guide you in all the terms, okay? Even if you are you are at a senior position and somebody is below you, right, and he is also trying to achieve your position, you should not think about ki this guy is giving me a competition. Okay, you should go and help this guy to get into this level, because somebody else is going to mentor you. Okay, you are dependent on somebody else, so be a mentor for your the people who are down to you. Think about this as a a cycle, because if you remember, like in our childhood days also, like somebody is teaching us, our teacher is teaching us, right? And the teacher is also reporting to the headmaster, right? So for that teacher, the headmaster is the next role, right? But he never stopped teaching you, right? Like she or he has always taught you the best things what she had or he had, right, in his life. But accordingly, but to the organization, this person, this teacher is still in that position for around 6 to 7 years, and now she has to be moved to other level, right? So there will be couple of guidance or couple of courses which will be assigned to the teacher to get on to the next role. Okay, so each and every field has that scenarios or that probabilities where you have to go to the next level, or you have to teach your subordinates, your peers, as well as help them out in the current role, right? Second thing is follow your role model. Now, whoever is your role model, whoever you are following, okay. Suppose you are following your director, okay. He could be a role model, or if you are following some other organization also, like you can make him a role model. Like suppose you like to make suppose Rajesh Gopinathan of TCS. If you want to make him the role model, okay, you should learn about him. Or if you want to go on a bit higher level, like talking about the executives or talking about the chairmen and all, like if you are more fond of that role, okay, if you are desiring to get that role in the next 20-30 years, okay, in your career graph, if you have mentioned that role in your career graph at the higher level, okay, so at that point of time, like you need to follow your role models, read about them, learn about them, how did they reach to that level, what have they completed in their education part, how they reached at that position, what they are doing currently, where are they, are they available on the social media, right? There are so many things available in market now. YouTube is like something you just have to search and you'll get everything. They talk about preparing dishes, or talk about some TED talks, anything you search for and you'll get it. Okay, even if you say how to repair a tap, you'll get that video, isn't it? So take it as an opportunity and find your role models. If you think Steve Jobs is your role model, go ahead, explore about him, why and how he did all these things. How did he reach at that position? Just follow your role model. And my dear friends, like when you are talking about the graph, the career graph, this career graph should be there somewhere on the wall or somewhere on the desk. You should always look at it, and you should always see the date which you have mentioned on the career graph. If you're saying March 2023, you should be able to achieve to that level, and that is the motivation which you'll be having for all your complete career. If you're planning a career of 20 years down the line, if you want to see yourself at the director level position, okay, you have to act like a director, you have to work like a director, right? You have to be into that role, you have to be into the role of decision making, you have to be or act or look like a director, right? So you can follow a role model. Like you remember, like there are a lot of actors, if you know, right, who are actually mimicking Amitabh Bachchan or Shah Rukh Khan, right? Lot of people are there who are mimicking these guys, and they are thinking that these are their role models, and they're trying to act it in the same way, right? Similarly, what we can do is, like if you think about Steve Jobs, or you think about Ratan Tata, or anybody in this world, right? Whoever is your role model, just follow them and see what they have done, how they have done, right? Once you are able to understand what career graph you are designing, okay, you have to also find out what activities which you are doing are essential or trivial. Okay, some activities which you're doing monotonously, like every day you're going to office and every day you are making some excels, or some drafts which you are sending to your managers, or you're working on some documentation part, but it is very monotonous. Every day you have to do, send out the reports to everybody and all. So think about the trivial part, okay, which is really not useful in your life. Okay, some meetings which are really not useful, which you are not able, which are not required for you to attend, just skip it. Most of the time what we happen is, like our calendars are full, we are not able to decide on how or where, how to spend time for ourselves, for our growth or our transformation, okay, because we are totally dedicated to office work, and we are completely into that meetings and into that calendars and whatever deliveries we are doing, right? Now I'll just give you an example, in my case, I'm dealing with our director, and I could see his calendar is completely full. Okay, he is having so many meetings, multiple meetings. I just asked him, how do you manage these multiple meetings? At the same slot you are having three meetings, how do you prioritize it, right? So he just answered me one thing: I am just attending the essential meetings. I am not going everywhere. I'm just, attending the people who really need me, or who have priority for that particular task or that particular work. Okay, so this is something which we can learn from our senior leadership, right? How they are performing their duties, right? When we are actually working on into small organizations, at that time, if you see, the vision they are having is very crystal clear, right? They want to achieve this much profit into this many years. They have that particular target. But if you are working in a big industry or a big MNC or a corporate world, okay, at that time, your particular department is very small in front of that big organization. Okay, at that time, you have to also explore the big world out there. When you think, one second. Okay, so when you are dealing with your passion, right? So at that time, you also need to understand how the business works, how the big picture is looking. Okay, so whenever you are focusing only on your deliverables, okay, whatever you are completing in a day, think about from that perspective what the leadership is doing from that reports. Okay, from that business, how much profits they are getting in a on a monthly basis or the yearly basis or the quarterly basis, right? There are so many things which you can explore in your own organization. And like if you are interested more into sales or marketing and all that stuff, there are a lot many applications or tools available in market which actually gives you comparison between different businesses or different industries like manufacturing. Okay, what all is currently going on in manufacturing, you will come to know like what all things are going on just by looking at the tools. Like suppose there is one tool called as Gartner reports. Okay, in that Gartner reports, you are actually able to see the comparison of all the IT industries or all the top five, I would say, companies which are actually dealing in the current market. So you can understand the big picture or the big scenario of what your organization is into, what products they are working into, and what is the annual or quarterly profit which they are earning. Okay, this might sound a little bit trickier because at the current role, like if you're working as a manager or a, analyst or maybe a developer, or you have just joined the organization at this point of time, you are not aware of that big picture. Okay, what your company or what your organization is working into. You are just focusing on the deliverables. Something has been assigned to us. Aaj sham ko dena hai. You are just going to complete that Excel or document and you are delivering it. Okay, try to understand the bigger picture. Okay, when you go out, seek information, you are actually collaborating with other people. Okay, you are increasing your network, you are actually showing them the interest, like okay, I am interested in this organization, I want to lead myself with the vision of the organization, and think in that perspective, I want to grow the business as per what my organization wants. Okay, now this could result into two things. One, like you might work in your own organization, and you may reach that level of the director or the CXO position in next like maybe 15, 20 years, whatever you have planned in your graph. Or something you might also think about your entrepreneurship, like if you want to start with your own organization. Okay, if you have those core values inbuilt in yourself, right, you can also think about how you can invest yourself, your knowledge, okay, into your own entrepreneurship or own organization which you want to build. Okay, if you have those powerful core values, you can also start something on your own, right? So, and for the freshers, like whenever they are launching themselves, right, they are actually coming into the market, they are just new to the market. Nothing is impossible for them as well, because there are a lot of there are a lot of major opportunities which are available in market. Okay, earlier it was just like couple of I would say, in with respect to IT, like only couple of things were there in market, like this .NET or any programming or database programming or networking. There were very few options, but now if you move into the digital world, okay, there are a lot of other options which are available in market. So it's just not the big data, data science or machine learning, but there are other things like digital marketing is there, SEO engineering is there. So many things are coming as a new platforms, and there are so many things to learn and explore yourself, as well as when you are actually putting down it in your resume, like I have done this certification, or I have taken this I've taken this course or something, a designing part or something I've done, right? You're actually showing a small a portfolio which you have created, or something, I would say a small piece of you know a program which you have created. Like earlier days we used to create small programs to show. So in that way, like if you create your portfolio, okay, in that case, you are actually approaching the organization in a better role. Okay, so creating a portfolio is what basically, it's just not that 6 or 8 page resume, but it is actually working on the background of your role, or what current we are doing, or what education you have taken in. Okay, so moving on, like how you can network or brand yourself. So how you can create your own portfolio, or a sample, or I would say something which you are going to give to the organization, which actually identifies you, right? So for freshers, or or somebody, like if you talk about women associates, most of the time it happens that women are, after marriage they need to take a break, or maybe if after kids, after maternity, they have to take a break. And most of the time it happens that there is a large gap between their career. Okay, so like 1 or 2 year, then they struggle a lot to get back into the same career stream. So at that time, for them as well, networking acts as a big role for them. Okay, so if you are branding yourself, if you are branding your portfolio in such a way that that organization is actually able to capture you. Okay, you don't have to run, or share your resumes across the world or across the organizations. You don't have to run behind anyone. The organization is coming behind you. They are going to target you. Okay, and how that can happen is, like you need to first of all network yourself, and network yourself in a positive way, where you're going to increase your connections. Like suppose we have a LinkedIn facility. So on LinkedIn, if you see, there are lots and lots of people who are collaborating nowadays, right? From each and every stream, from each and every group, all the types of organizations you can find out on the LinkedIn, right? Lot of different roles are available. If you want to search for some manager role, search for it. There will be thousands or lakhs of people who are in that role. If you want to look for a scrum master role, there are lakhs of people who are in the scrum master role. What you have to do is do nothing, just send them the connections every day. Okay, brand yourself in such a way that you are going to be noticed. Okay, post something, some article every day, like everybody is going to watch, like what you have written, what articles you are writing, or some kind of precious value you are sharing. Okay, it could be anything. If you are there on LinkedIn, okay, every day, maybe you are commenting something, you are liking some others post, or you are yourself, you are posting some articles or blogs, or some good technology images or something. Okay, you will be noticed. Basically you will be noticed by other organizations. Okay, when you are sending connections to other people related to that same role, they are also watching you. Okay, they are also actually in collaboration with you. So just be open to everything. And the thing I just wanted to show you